Well, we'd like to welcome you along once again to our Wednesday evening thought. This evening, I want us to consider together a verse found in John chapter 12 and verse 24, where Jesus Christ says to his disciples, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit." The Gospels teach this truth, and the natural order established and maintained by God teaches this truth. If only we will look, if only we will see, if only we will reflect upon that which God has made, because as we have been thinking, something lives in every hue Christless eyes have never seen. Think on the river again, and the fish that lurk beneath the surface of the water and hide underneath the stones. The majestic brown trout with those telltale red spots feed summer and winter on other living creatures that live in the river. For the brown trout to live, worms must die, flies must die, larvae must die, snails must die. Or think further of the dolphin trout that makes its way up our rivers towards the autumn time of the year. It leaves the vast expanse of Loch Ness to come up the Kells water, to come up the Main, to come up the Braid, to come up the Clough, that it might lay its eggs. But again, for that dolphin trout, so strong and whatever else, it must eat creatures that live in the loch, the shrimp, small fish, and other living creatures. Or think of the European eel that used to be so common in all our rivers and all our streams and all our shocks and all our burns. It used to be everywhere. And if there wasn't something dead lying in the river to be eaten, again the eel ate the worms, the snails, slugs, and whatever else. All those creatures to live must kill and must eat. Or thinking even on the buzzard, on the falcon, on the sparrowhawk, and the kestrel. For the kestrel to live, it must kill the little mice. For the buzzard to live, it must not only eat the carrion that lies at the side of the road, but it will take and it will kill a bird or rabbit. For the sparrowhawk to live, it must kill the sparrow, it must kill the pigeon. For the peregrine falcon to live, again it must swoop down from on high and take out the unsuspecting pigeon or homing pigeon. Every bit of living is a bit of dying, said a well-known politician and indeed Greek scholar. Jesus teaches this same truth in John 12 and 24. Unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. A grain of wheat, as you know, if it is to produce a crop, it must be planted in the ground. It must die and grow and bear much fruit. And it's the same for so many other seeds in your garden, in my garden. If you ever put in a garden, you'll be spuds. You will plant the seedling spud into the ground. And if the weather is favourable and there's no blight and such things, in late summer or early autumn, you will dig up that plant, and you will hopefully find half a bucket of lovely, firm spuds ready for the table. But at the same time, quite near to where the plant broke ground, you will find the dried out, dead and sometimes rotting husk of the original seed potato. For the spuds to grow to produce a crop, the original has to die, has to give its life. And Christ the Saviour knows his time is coming close. He knows this being the case, he is to die. And he understands, because this is the case, this will scare his men. This will frighten his disciples. This will frighten his followers. But he needs them to see his death is vital, yes. But his death will not mean an end. Rather, his death will mean a new beginning. His message, therefore, to us today, when all we seem to hear about when we turn on our televisions or our radios or read the newspapers or watch the news online or follow the news online, all we seem to hear about is death. The dread of that death. Christ's message to you this evening, if you're his, is don't be alarmed. Don't be afraid. Death holds no fear. No fear for those who live. And because they live in Christ, will die in Christ. Truly, truly, I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and die, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. Let us pray. Our gracious God, we thank you again tonight for your word, for the hope, for the comfort, the hope that is sure and certain that we find in that word. And we bless you, our God, unlike the world in which we find ourselves, the world in which we live. We do not need to fear death, because our Saviour, he has already died on our behalf. And when our faith is in him and in him alone, our death, whenever it will come, will be but the beginning, the dawning of a new day. When people all around us, our God, are filled with fear and filled with trepidation, we thank you that need not be for us. For Christ has defeated the last and the final enemy in his life and through his death on Calvary's cross. We thank you for this truth and bless you for the comfort and hope it gives to us at all times, but especially in these days. These are prayers we ask in the Saviour's name and for his sake. Amen.